Hey guys, and welcome back to Smart Money Minds. Today we're going to be talking about how red this week in the market was on the last week of February 2021. We looked at the S&P 500 and Nasdaq drop a bunch of points. We have our stocks recap for last week, and I'm also going to be talking about the stocks that I'm looking forward to the first week of March. So let's get started. First off, all the stocks that I picked last week were all red. What happens is that the S&P 500 was down 2 days, it bounced for a day, and it continued to tumble down on this bull flag. So we broke this upper channel line. We're going down to the broadening wedge line, and it's back testing here. So there's a possibility that we can go even further on this longer time trend line right here in this dot, and that's possible because of the increasing bear volume that's happening. Nasdaq is doing the same thing. It gave you pretty much 2 bounce days here and another tumble. We had a big bounce day on Friday, but what I'm seeing here is that it's testing this bottom here. It could be bottoming out with this doji, with this volume climax here, but that is yet to be seen. The market is choppy right now, so be careful. So a quick review of all the stocks that I was talking about last week. We had Workhorse, Baidu, SDC, NIO, and Palantir, and the biggest loser was Workhorse because there was news that USPS right here gave the contract for their next gen mail trucks to Oshkosh instead, and Workhorse was a front runner for that contract. So that basically immediately dropped the stock a ton of percentage, big bear volume. It tried to bounce, but there wasn't much going on. I really liked that it was coming down. It had a good bounce, had a doji candle, but it couldn't continue up because of news related events. So that sucks. So this one was down over 50% from $33 to $16. The next stock I have here is Baidu, and it was hovering at all-time high range. It broke out over, but 5 days of market weakness just gave it all back, and it's consolidating. And as you see, it's consolidating on the weekly. It totally ripped the other way. It's just unlucky, and big bear volume coming in. Not a stock you want to be in right now. I like that it is at least testing the 8 EMA here. So it could bounce from this range with the market. So that we'll have to see where that goes. The next stock I talked about was SDC. I was expecting it to go right back up here, but market choppiness driving it around this range, not really moving too much, which is good. I like that it's holding this lower trend line. It broke down, but it continued to hold. But because market weakness, we're not seeing any moves here. So there you go. And the next one, we're looking at NIO. It gapped down, had a major bounce for 2 days, but it's giving it back again. So it's breaking out from, or breaking down from, this downtrend channel. So once again, no good. The last one we have here is Palantir. It looked ready to go, but we had a immediate dark cloud cover on Monday, and thus it dropped the stock. So overall, we had a 50% drop on Workhorse, 16% drop on Baidu, 2.5% on SDC, which is quite good. NIO over 16%, and Palantir over 17%. So we had an average loss of 20% here, which is no good. It's a painful market to be in right now. Looking back at the 2 weeks of stock picks that were both losses, I realized that I was picking stocks that were still heading down without the proper upward momentum to push it back up. And I was looking for the ones that had potential to move up, but not really having the momentum yet. While as if you looked at stuff that was in travel stocks, for example, they had momentum and they continued to carry their momentum. So this week, I'm going to be focused more on stocks that are carrying momentum right now instead of ones that are in short-term reversal. So also, the markets are hitting another key support zone. And also, there is a stimulus update that the House has passed, the $1.9 trillion stimulus bill. So people are getting money again. So this is driving the economy once again. We're going to look up and see if that bounces the markets once the money pours in. So the first stock I'm going to look at, and is in my stock pick, is PayPal. PayPal, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days down, and we have a Harami inside bar candle right at the golden pocket. We have it right in the support zone as well. So I'm going to look up and see if this will break over. We have an 8-hour falling wedge. So there's a possibility that we can come back down a little bit, test, and then we can break up and set a longer term higher low, back to higher highs. And if you look at this chart on the daily time frame, it's been going up non-stop. And this is the one, looks like just a minor drawback with the market. Here we go, we have another momentum stock. Mgnx is my second pick. We have this triangle form with this support zone right here at $18, $19 range. And it's coming back, keeps testing it over and over again. But now we got another breakout. And what I like about this breakout is that there is volume to it. It is pushing right over this. The only issue is I do see that it is on a shorter term downtrend. We still have yet to confirm this trend to go back up. But that's what we're going to see this week and see if that is going to push over $28 here. And that would be a zone, that would be a good zone for it to break over for some confirmation. Right over here, right around this zone here, I would say. The third one I'm talking about this week is Starbucks. And it had a ascending triangle. So it formed up here, it double topped at 107 range, and now it's breaking out with good bull volume, so it's pushing back up here. In the long term, if you look at it, it's been in a steady uptrend the entire time. This is the Corona drop, and now it's just been climbing, and it just broke to a new all-time high. So I'm anticipating it to continue up on a steady uptrend. It's just an easy play with the trend, and with markets bouncing and people having more money in their wallets again, they're going to spend more money onto either coffee or the market. The fourth stock I have here is Fisker. Looking at Fisker, it had its first earnings report since going public. We have this trend line that it's been following. It's been setting a nice support zone on the $14 range, and it's set a higher low back down into this trend line, and with the earnings it actually gapped up, sold off. But look at the volume on Friday. Given that the market was weak, even on Friday it was pushing up. It's a new all-time high, so there's a good chance that this momentum will continue to push it up. It could go parabolic. So I'm watching this for this week to go and perhaps give us a volume climax on the volume and see a temporary top. The last stock I have looking this week is MU. So given that MU is Micron here, is a microchip company, we looked at weakness on the NAS, and with the NAS being so weak and collapsing, MU gave back very little considering what happened to the Nasdaq. And we're looking back up at close to all-time highs again. We got a bit of a triple top here at this, well, double top. But as you see, the uptrend has continued through this entire time. It hasn't given back anything yet, significant at least. It's been going up. Look at the green weeks that's been pushing up the market, or pushing up MU. It's held the 8 EMA on the weekly, So that's given me good confidence. The only thing I would be worried about is that there is bearish divergence here on the 4-hour time frame. So it could set a temporary top soon, but I'm looking at this as a momentum stock. It has been moving up ever since here, pushing up, pushing up, pushing up, continues to push up. And either it's likely to set up a bull flag. That's the most likely scenario. If not, push up a little bit more this week before setting up that bull flag and holding this upper trend line or this lower trend line. Looking at these stocks, and especially swing trading for just within the week, we want momentum to be on our back. As I said, if we looked at, for example, a travel stock, Carnival Cruise, it was going up on the 19th, and it continued to go up, and that gained good percentage. And even when market pulled back, it continued to hold its gains. So we want to be looking at stocks that are pushing up. You got to look at American Airlines, that pushed up, held its gains. And we're looking at hotels, same thing. Everything happened with momentum. So that's what we're looking for this week as well with the stocks that I picked. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you guys next Friday for the recap and see how those stocks did. And we'll see you guys next time.